And then, just like when it shows up, like don't read over their lines. So they, so all right, and we'll give you the microphone since you're the narrator. All right, cool, take it away.
Hello, children. Today we'll be reading the Grateful Statues.
I love you.
Once upon a time, there lived a kind old woman in a village in Japan. They were very poor and spent every day weaving hats out of straw. Whenever they finished a number of hats, the old man would take them to the nearest town to sell. One day, the old man said to the old woman,
"It'll be New Year's Eve in 2 days. How I wish we had some rice cakes to eat then. Even 1 or 2 little cakes would be enough. Without rice cakes, we won't be able to celebrate the New Year." All right, then.
Well then,
said the old woman,
after you've sold these hats we're making, buy some rice cakes for New Year's Day.
So early the next morning, the old man took the 5 new hats that they had made and went to town to sell them. But when they got into town, he was unable to sell a single hat.
Is that your phone?
Yes. Yeah, it's your phone. And to make things worse, it began to snow very heavily.
Narrator, your phone is going off.
And to make things worse, it began to snow very heavily. The old man felt very sad as he trudged wearily home with his hats. He was walking down a lonesome mountain trail when he suddenly came upon a row of 6 stone statues of Yazi, the protector of children, all covered in thick snow.
What that was camera?
My, now isn't this a pity?
Said the old man.
These are only stone statues of Yazi, but even so, just figure out how cold they must be standing here in snow. I know what I'll do,
said the old man to himself. He unfastened the 5 new hats from his back and began tying them, one by one, onto the heads of the statues. When he came to the last statue, he suddenly realized that all the new hats had been used.
Oh my,
he said.
I don't have enough hats.
But then he remembered his own scarf, so he took it off his head and tied it to the head of the last statue. Then he went on his way home. When he got home, the old woman was waiting for him by the fire. She took one look at him and cried,
you must be frozen half to death. Quick, come sit by the fire. What did you do with your scarf?
The old man shook the snow out of his hair and came to the fire. He told the old woman how he had given all the new hats as well as his own scarf to the 6 Yazi statues. He also said that he was very sorry that he hadn't been able to bring home any rice cakes.
That was a very kind thing you did for the statues,
said the old woman. She was very proud of the old man and said,
it's better to do a kind thing like that than to have all the rice cakes in the world. We'll get along without any rice cakes for New Year's Day.
Since it was already late at night, the old man and woman soon went to bed. Just before dawn, while they were still asleep, a very wonderful thing happened. Suddenly, there was a sound of voices in the distance singing.
A kind old man walking in the snow gave all his hats to the stone Yazi, so we bring in gifts with a yo-heave-ho.
The voices came nearer and nearer, and then the sound of footsteps could be heard in the snow. The footsteps came right up to the house where the old man and woman were sleeping. And then all at once, there was a great noise, crash! As though something heavy had just been put down in front of the house. The old couple jumped out of bed and ran to the door. When they opened it, what do you suppose they found? Any answers?
Food, liquor.
I've already got
Grandmother's dead corpse.
crime.
You're all wrong.
You're all wrong.
That's in the basement.
Placed very neatly in front of the house was the biggest and most beautiful rice cake the old couple had ever seen.
Whoever could have bought us such a wonderful gift?
They asked as they looked around them. In the snow, they saw some tracks leading away from their house. The snow was all tinted with the colors of dawn, and there in the distance, walking through the snow were the 6 Yazi statues, still wearing the hats that the old man had given them. The old man had said,
It was the stone Yazi who brought this wonderful rice cake to us.
The old woman said,
you did them a kind favor when you gave them your hats, So they brought this rice cake to show their gratitude.
And so the old couple had a very wonderful New Year's Day celebration after all.
So they did.
Because they had a wonderful rice cake to share. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wow.